The first Republican presidential debate in the United States is due to begin this afternoon, and the spotlight is firmly on Donald Trump. He will be centre. He will actually physically be centre stage. So far, he's quite prepared to offend everyone, even the people on his own team, which is quite a turnaround, actually, for the Republicans. But how will the billionaire businessman fare when he's pitted against the political pedigree of other candidates like Jeb Bush? How would Jeb Bush fare? Otago University international relations expert Robert Patman joins me now. Robert, morning to you. How excited are you by this?
Good morning, Paul. Hi, I think Donald Trump is a hugely entertaining character, and the interesting thing is, Paul, that he's made tremendous headway, not in terms of substance, but in terms of leadership style. He's asserted himself as a straight-talking person who has won a lot of support in the United States because he appears to be running against Washington.
Yeah.
This is a sort of person who says he's not going to be tainted by the sort of compromises that politicians are always associated with.
Well, so he is a huge threat for the establishment and a huge threat to the Republicans themselves, isn't he?
He is potentially, but your opening remarks, I think, captured it. So far, he's been able to play to all his strength. He's a celebrity. He's well known in the United States. He's a billionaire. He's not short of money to support his claims. But now he does face situations which increasingly his stance people will be saying, well, yes, this is good image, but where are the policies to back up your leadership? And that is the question mark. That is the questionable part of his campaign so far. Well, we should get some answers in the near future. Don't
be too unfair on him, Robert, because he has the overriding policy of wanting America to be great again.
Yes, indeed. Isn't that a great slogan? Making America great again. And there are overtones of Ronald Reagan here. In the sense that he's not striking out any elaborate policies. I mean, I was taken by the fact that he said he had a foolproof for rapidly eliminating Islamic State. And when questioned about it, he said he couldn't reveal the details because he didn't want to let the enemy know. So, you know, in a sense, he is striking this leadership posture of saying to the American people, trust me, I'm a tough guy. I don't play by the same rules as these other compromisers, and he'll get on with the job.
But, you know, that phrase alone, and it really showed him up when he said that, but it only showed him up to intellectuals, to the vast number of people who will make decisions at the end of the day in the United States. They probably think, yeah, God, we would not want IS to find out what the secret plan is.
Yes, indeed, but I think it does expose. I mean, this is not the single case. He surged in the polls because of his very tough stance on illegal immigration.
Yep.
And he said, amongst other things, let's build a huge wall. When he was pressed to explain, to try and cost the wall, he said, oh, well, the Mexicans will pay for it. So apparently the Mexican government's going to pay for a wall which he actually opposes.
You see, but it's a genius plan. Even if it's completely unworkable, it might be workable enough to get him into the top job. On one side of it, everyone is waiting to see how he performs. How hard is this for someone like Jeb Bush? Because Jeb Bush wants to front as a member of the establishment who is going to make a viable alternative to Obama, who's presidential. How is he going to be able to front on the same stage with Trump?
I think Bush is playing the long game. They're hoping that Trump will put his foot in it. I don't think the other major contenders like Jeb Bush or Scott Walker, I'd be surprised if they take Donald Trump on directly. I think some of the lesser contenders like Christie from New Jersey may be looking to take Trump on to try and score a few points. But I think Jeb Bush will be looking to try to gradually improve his standing. But there's a lot at stake here. And if he's not careful, Jeb Bush and Scott Walker, particularly Jeb Bush, may just simply, because they're getting no momentum, they just may be seen by many pundits as irrelevant to the overall nomination.
If you had to weigh it up, the pluses and minuses of Donald Trump being part of this race, would you say he is good for democracy, good for politics in the United States or not?
Well, I think one thing is quite clear. He's bringing fresh ideas and excitement to what many people saw as a boring contest within the Republican Party.
So from
and the
that
other thing
point of
is
view, he's good.
Yeah, and I think he's also creating new opportunities in the Democratic Party. Ironically, to me, it's no coincidence that Bernie Sanders, in the Democratic Party, another initially unfavoured contender, is now really giving Hillary Clinton a real run for her money. So, in fact, Mr. Trump has predicted that the ultimate contest will be between himself and Mr. Sanders. He doesn't think Hillary Clinton's got any chance.
No, so he's done Hillary Clinton no favours at all. Just very quickly, Robert, something that many commentators haven't really been talking about much yet. If inevitably, as is probably the case, Donald Trump is not selected to be the Republican candidate, there is nothing stopping Donald Trump from standing as an independent in this race for presidency.
That's absolutely true, and he's actually hinted at this. In a sense, he's in a win-win situation, because even if he doesn't get the nomination for the Republican Party, he can spoil the prospects of other would-be contenders in the Republican Party, and he has the financial means. This is a multi-billionaire. He can run his own independent campaign.
Fantastic.
So having roughed up the Republican Party, he can then desert it and then run against the Democrats.
Yeah, with the perfect line. Robert, thank you so much for joining us. We'll talk about this again. And obviously we're talking about a debate which is going to happen in a few hours' time. Robert Patman, University of Otago International Relations expert. Thank you for your time. And just imagine, he's not selected by the Republicans. He has the perfect opportunity to say to America, you see, I was just too anti-establishment for these guys. That's why you should vote for me as an independent. Fantastic strategy.